What's up, people? Look, this is gonna be pretty short and pretty sweet. I think. Well, maybe not so much sweet. I just have to get something off my chest that's been on there. Uh, well, honestly, for a while, but especially after tonight's episode. Now, again, I want to start with the usual caveat. I know that some people are going to complain regardless because they obsess over their power level charts, and I had this charted out to be just so, and it was a perfect chart, and you're screwing it up, that kind of thing. I understand that. I understand that there are people who had entire YouTube channels dedicated to trying to guess certain power levels and certain max powers and max potentials and etc. And while I personally think that's kind of silly, because, well, let's face it, it is. I mean, power levels in terms of a numeric value have not been relevant since Namek, and there's a reason for that. But, I'm not going to begrudge people doing whatever, and of course they won't be happy with, right or not, their ideas of what this power level should or should not be, being off. But what I do want to say is that this is for everyone else. I don't have a gripe with people who are consistent in their complaints, no matter how silly I might think their complaints are, because they're consistent. They're not hypocrites. This, what I'm about to talk about, is hypocrisy. Because, look, I remember when DBS 84 came around. And I remember how people reacted to that. People did not take it well. Not even a little bit. Not even a tiny bit. The idea that Krillin somehow got stronger legitimately offended people. It did. They were throwing a fit, even though we saw what happened in episode 76. We saw that mental blockage that had been holding him back be overcome. We saw his aura change. We saw him get stronger. When we when we saw 17, okay? Some people still complained about him being strong enough to fight Goku, like that, even though Goku again was holding back even in his top form, but that's beside the point. People got less upset. There were some who still got mad, but people were a lot more willing to accept that, But here's what I don't get. Okay, Krillin had all that time to train. Plus, we had what happened in 76. Episode 76, months to refine himself, to get stronger, to learn new techniques. People call that an ass pull. 17, 10 years to train, to get stronger. Gets as strong as he is. People call that an ass pull. Okay? Gohan. In the last couple episodes, Gohan went from... Granted, he wasn't as weak as he was in Resurrection F. That's a given. That is a definite given. Okay, because he has been training, not as religiously, mind you, not as regularly, but more. So he is improving. But going from where he was to now suddenly able to push Goku at the level Goku's at, going Super Saiyan 2, and even still managing to get in a few hits at least when he went blue. Okay, so we're talking like pretty goddamn strong here. Even if Goku, once he actually used his full power, tapped him out so hard and so fast that Gohan didn't even feel it at first. It took a little bit for it to register. The fact that people got mad, okay, now bear with me. got mad that Gohan didn't win. Said that Gohan got shafted, got screwed, that this series always does him dirty, always does him wrong. Because he didn't beat Goku. Now just to be clear, okay? Gohan has gotten this strong in only 8 hours of training. All right, think about that. 8 hours. Do you know what that is? That is an ass pull. I'm not going to stress about it. I'm not going to get upset about it because it's nice to see Gohan, you know, getting strong again. It's nice to see everybody getting ready for this tournament. Honestly, it's a narrative situation where you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Because people are going to be super ticked if Gohan's not, you know, up to being a force to be reckoned with in this tournament. And based on how much stronger everyone else has gotten, he would therefore have to get stronger. About the only way you could then do that without doing it this way is giving him God Ki, but that too falls into Aspel territory, because how's he going to get it and how's he going to learn to use it that efficiently in that short amount of time too? So you see what I'm saying here. So I'm not going to give him that. In fact, I will consider that a gimme. I will admit that it's a bit of an ass pull at this point, but that's neither here nor there. I don't think it's inherently a bad one. Because, I mean, he at least didn't just, you know, pull it out because he decided, oh, I need it. You know, and Piccolo, to be fair, did, you know, they made it very clear that Piccolo's training with him was very brutal and very harsh to try to make up for the short amount of time it was happening in. But it is still an ass pull. It is still 8 hours, and he's this strong. Okay? But this is what I mean. 17 had 10 years. 10 years during which he says he never really stopped trying to better himself to get as strong as he did. Krillin not only overcame all the mental blocks that have been holding him back his whole life, but underwent a spiritual transformation. His aura changed. His energy changed. He changed on a fundamental level within. And he managed to use the several months since then to harness that power, to become better, to make himself stronger, to learn how to control his power better. That boy can whip out multiple Kienzans now like it's nothing, and control them with such precision that he can have one graze Goku's cheek and yet not get so close as to seriously hurt him. That is how good this guy's control has gotten. And this is when he's drained from using an attack that does use a ton of his energy. Okay, he pushed Goku into Super Saiyan level. Now, y'all want to sit there and say that that's an ass pull? Whatever. Okay, we saw what happened in 76. We know he been training. All right, I'm sorry, not an ass pull. And even if you want to consider it one, it is nowhere near as bad as the ass pull that is Gohan getting that. All are so mad about Krillin getting that much stronger, despite what happened in 76, plus his training. The fact that some of y'all are mad that 17 got that much stronger with 10 years to keep pushing himself. Okay? And yet, y'all are not only okay with the idea of Gohan getting as strong as he did in 8 hours, y'all are mad that he didn't get strong enough to challenge someone with the power of a god. As in literally challenge him and even beat him. Surpass gods on his own in 8 hours. Y'all wanted that. Y'all would have been okay with that. You are perfectly fine with the idea of Gohan doing that. Why? Because he's Gohan. Why aren't you okay with the idea of Krillin doing that? Because he's just Krillin. Because to you, he is nothing more than a Team 4-star owned count meme. And when he's not that, it makes you mad. When Gohan isn't somehow the strongest being to ever exist ever, they're doing him wrong, and you're mad about that. Y'all sit there. Y'all want to sit there talking about Toriyama playing favorites. Look at you, who actually do play favorites. Alright? If Toriyama played favorites, you know, Piccolo would probably be on Goku's level. Piccolo is, he said, right up there with Goku. Not the biggest fan of him either. And yet he still has him right up there. Piccolo, back here. Krillin, back here. He likes these characters, but I don't see him shoving them all the way up to here. He let them go up to a certain point. A certain, frankly, realistic at this point. And y'all are mad. But because he didn't let Gohan go even further, y'all mad about that. So why is the actual they're operating now? I'm gonna count this as a filler episode because I refuse to believe this could have happened. So you did. You counted 76 as a filler episode. Then 84 rolls around, which plays out 76. And what happens? Nope, this is an ass. It was right there. It was right there. Him training was right there. And you know what? If you guys want to discount 76, you got to discount 75 too. You know, the episode where he did get grazed by that bullet. But nah, y'all latched right onto that. Y'all were trotting that all over the place. Y'all were making fun of that so loud. But then the next episode comes and undoes that. And what is it? Nope, filler. But 84 comes around and y'all want to complain about how he went from being so weak that a bullet could graze him again, which has nothing to do with actual strength, and I love how that went over everyone's heads too. But y'all talk about how he went from being so weak to being able to be grazed by a bullet to suddenly pushing Goku to Super Saiyan, to suddenly pushing back that Kamehameha. You know, y'all act like nothing happened between 75 and 84. The very next episode. But again, y'all don't want to count that. Y'all refused to count that back in the day. Now it's coming back to bite you and you still refuse to accept it. You're just going to count that one as filler too. And yet, all counts the real ass pull here. I just want to know when this fandom is going to take a look at itself and realize, you know what? I got a double standard. You know what? I have an unhealthy hate of certain characters that I want to see crapped on. There's certain characters that we are perfectly fine with seeing crapped on. And no, it's not just because of the Yamcha thing. That, you know what? I'm not terribly thrilled with the way Yamcha's getting crapped on. But at the same time, part of it's his own fault. Because he did give up. Like, he didn't even bother keeping himself up even after he retired. He just... zoom. But that's whatever. But I mean, there are people who are not happy unless, like, Krillin's getting crapped on. But you crap on Tien. Oh no, you done goofed now, son. They're not happy unless you know, certain characters get crapped on. Okay. Pilaf, you know, he's fine. He's fine fodder, and yeah, he's supposed to be. But you know, you ramp that up to say Tien, to say Gohan, and not even getting crapped on, just losing. And suddenly, you know, that ain't funny. You doing them wrong, you know. But Krillin gets so much as punched once. Ha! Krillin owned count. Why is it okay, you know, and funny even, to sit there and heap abuse on certain characters, but not these? We count abuse even when it's not abuse on characters over on this side. Vegeta, Gohan. Those two, especially, they lose. They lose. They don't even have to Nothing. They can go out in a blaze of glory. They can help turn the tide of a fight completely. Look at what Gohan did when he fought Frieza in the Resurrection F arc. Okay? Look what he did there. He was a boss. He sat there even through that torture, even through that pain, you know, sending out that beacon for Goku to be able to zap back there. That was a boss moment, man. Anyone would kill for their favorite character, you know, who happens to not be a Saiyan, to have that kind of shine in that moment. But nah, we counted that as abuse. Because Gohan didn't go mystic or go ultimate, whichever the term you guys want to apply, and kill Frieza with one shot. That's abuse, apparently. I just want to know when we're going to take a look at ourselves and realize that, you know, we kind of have our priorities way messed up here. Because, my gosh, it's getting really, really bad, you guys. I've been dealing with this for years, but honestly, tonight's the straw that broke the camel's back. When I saw people legit raging in like the chat during the live stream, you know, that Gohan didn't win, you know, calling BS, saying, you know, this is wrong, you know, no way, they did him dirty again. 8 hours. Y'all are acting like he got done dirty because he got that strong in 8 hours. For real. But these guys over here trained for months and years even. And that's a complete ass pull, and this series is trash, right? Oh, Trunks too, you know. When he did that in the manga version, people didn't complain. Of course, they did when he did it in the anime. I don't know why, because it was literally less egregious in the anime, because it was literally him pooling all his power into like 1 or 2 shots that then left him completely drained, whereas in the manga it was him literally increasing the multiplier of Super Saiyan 2 just because he wanted more power. But that's neither here nor there. But again, why? Just why? You know, 17 worked for 10 years. Krillin, we saw 76, and he worked non-stop since then. They will have gains. This is normal. You could debate about whether or not they have too many gains, but y'all act like them having any gains of any kind is fraudulent and wrong and just garbage, and yet this. I swear it's really getting to the point where I'm dreading episodes as much as looking forward to them, just because I know the tidal wave of bullcrap that's going to come after. Well, at any rate, that is it for now. Again, I will, you know, take ideas for videos down in the comments if you've got them. If you'd rather, you know, submit them to like Ask FM, you can do that too. I guess I will put my Twitter in the description as well if people want to follow there. I do on occasion rant about this there too. But yeah, that's gonna do it for tonight, you guys, and I will catch y'all later. And well, magically this was shorter than usual. See ya.